Hey folks, what's up? Hey folks, how you doing? This is Alex Morgan. I'll be your host this morning on this broadcast of the Alex. I hope everybody little announcement. I was sitting here getting ready to do the show, and one of my cat had kittens right at my feet, and yeah, I've been stressing a little bit trying to help her get them a bath and get lined up and what she needed and stuff. Yeah, she just had one, so she didn't get very big, so maybe she can have but a couple. But I got kittens to give away in about 6 weeks, I guess. If anybody needs any or wants any, the guy to get up with. Little announcement for anybody who listens to the show. I recently just got my new website up and running last night. Go to morgan.wixsite.com/AlexMorganShow. I do plan to work on it from time to time when I can and get the time and see the work on it. I'll update it from time to time, so y'all stop in frequently and anytime. I'll be right there. All my contact information is there. Information about the show, links to the show, that sort of thing. So yeah, check us out. Also, this morning, I guess I need to announce. Well, I'm not going to make an announcement yet because she hadn't ever let me know nothing, but I heard there was another terrorist attack in Egypt where like 19 Christians, I think, were killed. I still haven't heard from her on that. There was a lady tweeted that out just a little while ago. Let me see if I can find anything about it. Here's something from express.ca. Give it just a second to load up. 5 dead as gunman kills Christians on their way to pray. First day of month of terror. Dozens of people have been killed after gunmen opened fire on buses carrying Coptic Christians to a monastery in Egypt. A group of more than 50 Coptic Christians traveling towards the monastery of St. Samuel near Minya, about 150 miles from Cairo, was targeted by, quote, armed terrorists, end quote, according to state media. So far, at least 26 people have been reported killed and a further 26 wounded. Folks, this is awful. Let me put it to y'all like this. If you go and kill somebody, then I ain't gonna support you. I don't want you in this country. I don't want to be around. I don't know what they get out of this exactly. I don't know. I guess they just want to stabilize the whole world, especially the United States. But yeah, I guess the whole world. That's all you could say about it. That's why these people support a borderless world with people like to just come into your country anytime that they want to. And there's nothing else that makes any sense. It really ain't. We had John Kerry. He made a speech to some Harvard graduates the other day. I've got that video right here.
Capable as my former cabinet colleague Ash Carter. I wish him well as he takes on the important responsibility here. I'm also very happy to before I do that, I want to recognize that the Prime Minister of Uganda is here. I want to he brought his own cheering section with him on his way. I want to say hello to two friends of mine. One of the consciences of our foreign policy cabinet, Ambassador Sam Power, is here, and I want to recognize her. There she is. And Washington Post reporter Jason Rezaian and his wife Yegi, whose grace and dignity are a reminder to everybody about the real strength of the human spirit. I was very proud when we were able to bring them back from Iran. There are others still there, but Jason, welcome. We're delighted to have you here. So, look, let me be honest about it. When it was first reported that a Yale grad at Harvard School, the initial reaction was news. But notwithstanding my Yale background, the dean was very, very generous. He offered to reimburse me for half my Uber ride.
You got a sense of humor, don't you?
Some people have asked me, why would I even venture into the belly of the beast?
Yeah, why?
Well, I represented it for 28 plus years in the Senate. But the answer is really very simple, folks. I'm here to see if I can negotiate an end to the construction at the Kennedy School. I understand it's going to be finished in 2030. Anyway, I want you to know that it is hard to suddenly just stop negotiating as Secretary of State. And my friends have been busy trying to buck me up. They assure me that I can still be called on to help negotiate peace. After all, there are so many warring factions out there. Red Sox and Yankee fans. Sean Spicer in the press, and Ann Coulter in Berkeley.
Yeah.
So there's work to be done, obviously. But I should tell you, there are plenty of things about government that I actually don't miss. But I have one regret. It's that Alec Baldwin never did an impersonation of me. Let alone Melissa McCarthy, which would be interesting. I'm often asked what the secret is, and I was just up at a luncheon and we were having some conversation about government. And I've been asked, what is the secret to having a real impact on government? Well, it's recently changed. I used to say either run for office or get a degree from the Harvard Kennedy School. With this White House, I'd say buy Rosetta Stone and learn Russian.
Whoa.
But
that's about enough of that. That's about all I can stomach this morning. Yeah. Just spilling their propaganda everywhere they go. They don't care what they say. Yeah. Makes me sick. But anyway. Here's Senator Lindsey Graham on Meet the Press.
The Comey testimony last week and the Judiciary Committee about how bad it was. So that's all I know. But I think it's time to call the FBI before the country at large and explain what happened to that dinner. And if there are any tapes, they have to be turned over. You can't be cute about tapes. If there are any tapes of this conversation, they need to be turned over. I doubt if there are, but we need to clear the air there also.
Look, let me put up that tweet where the president put the word in quotes, so we don't know quite what that means. But
folks, I need to pause it right there. I need to tell y'all something. If you talk to the president, you're being taped. Common sense will tell you that. History will tell you that. Yeah. If you have a conversation with the president, especially involving official business, it is being taped, whether you know it or not. Now back to this.
did you think that constituted a threat to Comey?
I think it was inappropriate. I think it requires somebody like me, a Republican, to call Comey before the Judiciary Committee to let him explain that conversation. Right now, I do not believe President Trump is a target or subject of any investigation regarding collusion with the Russians. That's what I believe. But this tweet, I would advise the president not to tweet or comment about the investigation as we go forward. The Russians did interfere in our election. I don't think they changed the outcome. I have no evidence of collusion, but the president needs to back off here and let the investigation go forward. We need to call Comey and get to the bottom of all of this. And I think it's time for an FBI agent to lead the FBI. When it talk about a new person to lead the FBI, how about an FBI agent who is above reproach?
Why do you think it has to be an FBI agent at this point? Why not a U.S. attorney, somebody prosecutor, somebody like that?
It could be a lot of people, but how about the idea of an FBI agent leading the FBI, promoting within the ranks? There's so many good agents, men and women out there capable of leading the agency. This is up to the president. He has a duty and obligation to pick somebody beyond reproach, outside the political lane. I think he'll do that. I hope he'll do that. I'm ready to move on and pick a new FBI agent. I'm ready to get to the bottom of what Russia did. I have no evidence to the Russians at all. Nobody on the campaign that I know of has colluded with the Russians, but we don't know all the evidence yet. We need to continue these investigations.
While we're staying on the FBI director, 8 people interviewed yesterday at the Justice Department. Look, as a colleague of yours, Senator John Cornyn, 2 women, could be the first woman to ever head the FBI. You had a former FBI agent and a former member of Congress. Let me ask you this. In this political environment, do you think it's the right time to have the first ever FBI director who had a elected political background, which is what it would be if either Mike Rogers or John Cornyn were named?
No. I think it's now time to pick somebody that within the ranks or has such a reputation that has no political background at all, that can go into the job on day one. You know, who does the FBI director work for? To me, it's like appointing a judge. He appoints a judge, but the judge is loyal to the law. The president appoints the FBI director, but the FBI director has to be loyal to the law. John Cornyn is a wonderful man under normal circumstances, would be a superb choice to be FBI director. But these are not normal circumstances. We got a chance to reset here as a nation. The president had to clean up the mess that he mostly created. He really, I think, did his staff a disservice by changing the explanation. So I would encourage the president to pick somebody we can all rally around, including those who work in the FBI.
Let me ask you something about the Russian interference. Later in the show, I have an interview with the Secretary of State. Conducted it yesterday, and he would not give an explanation as to why the issue of Russian interference wasn't even brought up during his meeting with Foreign Minister Lavrov. We go back and forth, and not once was it thought of as a top priority. Can we move on in a relationship with Russia if we don't confront them on this?
No.
Absolutely not. I don't know if they've privately talked about it, but he did a masterful job in the UN Security Council talking North Korea. I understand wanting to engage in Syria because they're part of the solution if we ever find one. But here's what I believe. I'm 1,000% certain the Russians interfered in our election.
It's
It was the
1,000%
Russian intelligence
true.
service that hacked into Podesta's email, the DNC, to create chaos. They did try to undermine Clinton. I don't think they changed the outcome. And I do not believe we can go forward as a nation until we punish Russia.
Folks, you all know just as good as I do that it's a lie. Seth Rich was the one that gave WikiLeaks all their information, all their needed passwords and all that to hack the DNC servers. WikiLeaks is not in collusion with Russia. They've been spewing this propaganda now for months and months, and that's all I hear is Russia, Russia, Russia. I'm sick of this. I really am. The rest of y'all are too. I mean, it was kind of entertaining there for a week or so, but it's just too much. To sit and listen to that belly aching and crying all the time. I mean, they're like a bunch of kids that just lost a ball game and have to blame it on something, you know. But that's the well for you. Bunch of kids. Let's go back to this interview.
I have bipartisan sanctions against Russia for interfering in our election, and my goal is to put it on the president's desk. I hope he would embrace it. Russia didn't change the outcome of the election, but they sure as hell tried, and I want to punish the Russians, and I hope the president will see their interference as a threat to our democracy.
I want to talk about the investigation. We're just out of the field. NBC News Wall Street Journal poll. I got to put up this number here. I'll read it to you. I know you don't have a screen. Who should investigate Russian interference? Only 15% think it should be you folks in Congress, Senator. 78%. So that means it's a bipartisan group of people would like to see an independent commission or a special prosecutor. Understand why the public doesn't trust now the politicians to do this?
Yeah, but here's what I think about the investigation. Right now, it is a counterintelligence investigation, not a criminal investigation, so you don't need a special prosecutor. I trust Deputy General Rothenstein to do this. If he gets to the point that he can't do it and it becomes a criminal investigation, we'll have a special prosecutor. An independent commission takes it outside of Congress. I tell the committee, the Judiciary Committee, we're doing a good job, so I want to keep it inside the Congress. I'd like a select committee where we all work together, but right now I see no need for a special prosecutor. It's not a criminal investigation. I see no need for an independent commission yet.
All right. Well, you, though, have called for a special counsel a number of times during the Obama years for the Clinton emails.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, yes.
For the Department of Justice supposedly targeting reporters, leaks,
That's true.
White House litigation, the idea that Joe Sestak might have gotten a job offer in exchange. My point is, why did all those meet the test for a special counsel, but this one doesn't?
That's a good question.
This is a counterintelligence investigation. We're not investigating a crime yet. If it becomes a criminal investigation of the Trump campaign colluding with the Russians during the election, and Mr. Rothenstein doesn't believe he can do the job, then we'll have a special counsel. There's a process in place. I'm not worried about polling. I'm not worried about anything and trying to get the right answer. The Russians did it. They need to be punished. Trump's not a target of the investigation yet. Leave this investigation alone. Congress is doing a good job in my view. If it gets to the point we can't, then we'll take it outside of Congress.
You are been looking at the president's finances. The president has made a big deal that he sent you a certified letter from his accountant, which all that means is you signed for it, and that's fine. Why does it in this case, shouldn't you want to see the tax returns from one of these LLCs that run a golf course, for instance? Report out there in North Carolina that the Trump National Golf Course may have been financed with Russian money. That's not going to be in the president's tax return. That's going to be in that LLC of Trump National Charlotte that had. Are you going to be able to get your hands on those records?
I have yet to find any evidence of improper business dealings between the Trump Organization and Russia regarding the election or anything else. However, if you can show me there's reason for that, there's a suspicion of that, then we need to get financial documents.
But have you seen those records?
Ask documents unless I have a reason. But the president should turn over his tax returns. He should do that. I don't have an reason. If I get that reason, I'll do it. But he should turn over his tax returns. He should do that now.
All tax returns, not just his personal, but these LLCs? Because that's where this could be. It's not going to be in his tax return if there's anything there.
If you can show me that we need to do that, I will do it. I can't say on television, based on your question, but I'm open-minded to all things Russia. The bottom line is I think Russia tried to affect our election, undermine our democracy. I want them to pay a price. I've yet to find collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. There's a Washington Post Comey went to Burr to get more agents and more money. That's not true. There's a lot of things being said are true or half-truths. Let the process work. I promise the people of South Carolina, the people of the United States, I do care about this. I've got nobody to punish and nobody to reward other than get to the facts.
Senator Lindsey Graham.
Folks, by spewing this Russia nonsense, this pure propaganda, it's really an assault to us Americans. There ain't none of us that are Russians. There ain't none of us that is in collusion with the Russians. There ain't none of us that are nothing else but Americans. And folks, we voted Trump in. He wasn't picked by no senators, no congressmen, anything like that. The world was against Trump, and we voted Trump into office. We overcame their system. We overcame the odds that they stacked against us every day, and they see that everybody's finally waking to their narrative that they put out every day. It's like on that Batman movie that's got the Riddler on it, where he's like transmitting all those thoughts or whatever. It's pretty much exactly what's going on here. And folks, I've not seen this whole Russia thing do nothing but escalate and escalate and escalate. And if we don't stop it, it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. It's going to snowball into a damn avalanche until they force Trump out of office. When they attack Trump, they attack us, folks. He is our president, whether they like it or not. I say that everybody needs all their congressmen and their senators, especially the Republicans, and we need to tell them that if they like their job and they want to keep working after 2018, that they need to put an end to this, okay? We've got the House and the Senate, and the Republicans are the only ones that can put this massive fire that the Democrats have started out. Now, whether they want to or not, that's a whole different story. And if we don't tell them what we want and we let them win, then we might as well just lay down and die. We might as well shoot ourselves in the heads and put a little dirt on top of us and just cremate us, whatever. Just put us out of our misery. They push this authoritarian bureaucrat bullshit. If they don't calm down, they're going to be looking at a real civil war. I mean, not this little information war that they got going on, or nothing like that. It's going to be a full-out bang, you're dead civil war again. You know, it ain't been so long ago that we had a civil war. It's just been like about 50 years or so. It ain't been that long. But just because this is 2017, that don't mean that there could be an uprising. There could thing can happen, folks. But yeah, I wanna put this fire out before it spreads. I do. Trump's in there. He's got all of our best interests at heart. He's lowering taxes. He's working on fixing the budget. He's cleaning up the mess. I mean, he probably isn't going to get everything done in 4 years or 8 years. I mean, if he gets 50% of what he promised done, that's a big step in the right direction. And then from there, we need to get us another. We need to get us another. I'm sorry about that. I keep dropping my camera. We need another candidate in place to take his place when he goes out of office. Now, if I thought for 1 second that Trump wasn't for us or was really working for the Russians, folks, I would against him in a heartbeat, but I know that isn't the case. That's something that Hillary Clinton and the Democrats came up with. But I'm telling you, if the Democrats and the blue blood Republicans have their way, they will get rid of Trump. And probably, you heard Senator Graham there saying that he wants the Russians to pay for what they did. And they didn't do that. How many times do you have to hear Julian Assange tell you that he done it? I mean, it's on WikiLeaks website, all their emails of the Podesta and the Obama and the $30,000 worth of hot dogs, the succulent hot dogs. Yeah. Just think about that, folks. That are the people that's controlling us. Is that not scary to you, or like, is this your dream come true, or what? Obama, he came into office promising change, and by God, he delivered. The Syrian refugees that got into this country, folks, he brought Mexican gang members into our country. He provided ISIS with guns and ammunition. Come on, man. I mean, how low do you get? Really? He tried to he tried to force people in Israel to vote a certain way. So he tried to sway the election, I guess you would say. He probably did sway. I don't know about France. I mean, yeah, France is probably done for before Macron got the endorsement from Obama, but yeah. But yeah, call your congressmen, call your senators. You tell them that you won't stand for it, neither will your family, neither will your friends, and they need to do their job and shut these damn Democrats up, because they've got a job to do. And if they want to keep crying about the election for the rest of their term, that's their business. But let's make sure it's their last term, and they don't get no more of our tax money to sit and cry about losing an election, man. That's pitiful. In no way am I perfect, but I don't come up with any excuses and say, hey, I might not be able to run fast as you, but I got a club foot, and I can't hardly run because my testicles smacks my legs, or, yeah, man, just excuse after excuse after excuse. Come on, man, for real. I noticed we have got a viewer out there watching our live stream. If you would like to call in to the broadcast, I'll give you that number right now. It's 276-243-1548. I'd love to hear from you, whoever you might be. But anyway, last show that I did, I was wanting to talk about The Rock and Tom Hanks either pretending they're going to run for president, vice president in 2020, or threatening to run. I don't know, but I seen some article from CBS News that said that it was a joke, but then I read two other articles that much sounded like they were legit, so I don't know what's up. But yeah, I was going to mention that in the last show, and I'll tell you, when it comes to the left, Democrats, and the liberals and all that, my mind just focuses on them, and I lose control of everything. When I get them on my mind, that's all I can talk about. But there was a bombing at the Ariana Grande concert the other day, and it's come to my attention that there's an article from BuzzFeed that came out The allegations range from fallouts with co-stars to ignoring and/or being rude to fans, being controlling to set, and issuing photographers with long lists of demands. Celebrities, including the cab singer Alexander De Leon of E! News host Juliana Rancic, so branded her rude. However, the latest developments in the tale is pretty damning. Grande apparently said she hopes her fans all quote, fucking die. The singer, who said to have made the comment during a visit to a radio station earlier in the summer, and more than one source overheard her. An industry insider told the New York Daily News, quote, she did autographs and pics and was all smiles until she later. And as soon as the door shut, she said, quote, I hope they all fucking die, end quote. Grande's representatives have so far declined to comment. It says she took to Twitter to acknowledge some of the rumors, but has not commented or denied anything. That's what a bitch does, is deny, deny, deny. Check this out right here, man. Okay, never mind. But yeah, like, I mean, how could you be 20-some year old, famous as hell, have all kinds of money, have all kinds of fans, sit behind a 20-30 foot wall, a $20-some million mansion on the inside, and hate the people who made all of that possible for you, want to destroy your country by borders, letting just anybody come into our country at any time that they want to, and then push for gun control, and them walking around with armed bodyguards 24 hours a day, probably watching over them while they sleep, you know. But she has a concert, and after the concert, a bomb goes off and results in about 20-some little teenage girls and you know, a little bit, some of them may have been a little bit older, but maybe their parents were killed, you know. I mean, how can you have a concert and allow something like that to happen? Not only allow it, but keep pushing for open borders and stuff after that, and telling your fans to embrace Islam. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being Islamic, don't get me wrong. Your religion has got nothing to do with it. But these people that commit terroristic actions, they're evil, okay? There's no other way to say it. People who want to kill people because if they don't believe the way that they believe, or look different from them, or just anything like that, man, that's wrong. That's evil. That's the devil. I mean, a kid could say that. They really could. Folks, we got a couple minutes left. But yeah, I wanted to get to Keith Olbermann. See what kind of garbage he's been spewing. Hold on just a moment. Go commercial there. I'll get to it in just a second. Folks, if you advertise your small business on the show, or just advertise anything like that, you can visit my website. You can just get up with me on Twitter, at Alex Morgan Show, or the Big Al Morgan. Follow me on, find me on Twitter, Alex James Morgan, or Facebook.com/Big Al Morgan. You can find me on Instagram. I'm on all those. Just, yeah, if you get anything that you want to add to the show, or would like for me to advertise, I would be more than happy. I need all the funds that I can get. But
is the resistance.
Let's go to Keith.
So when will the Trump-Russia story break? When will we know? When will we hear? When already? Indictments, impeachments, confessions, Trump's fleeing to Elba. I am actually asked these questions even more than I asked them myself. And it has recently occurred to me that while the Trump-Russia story might indeed be that proverbial iceberg that is 90% underwater, what we now see is still immense. There are the gigantic headlines everybody knows. Trump boastfully giving the Russians Israel intelligence about ISIS. Trump boasting to them that he had relieved the pressure by firing James Comey. The Washington Post report that the Trump-Russia investigation has now reached somebody actively serving in the White House. Michael Flynn's attorney saying his client would take the fifth in front of the Senate. But we also know so much more. We know that the fired head of the FBI testified to the House Intelligence it is investigating, and that it is not investigating if there are links between the Trump campaign and the Russians, but rather it is, quote, investigating the nature of any links and whether there was any coordination. We know that James Comey testified to the Senate.
Folks, I hate to cut that video short. I got about 30 seconds left on Spreaker here. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to everyone who may be listening from that platform. Thank you very much for listening to this show. I'll be back as soon as I can with another great episode. See y'all later. Wow! How you doing? Who we got out there? Send me a message. Talk to me. Ask me something. I reckon I got that allowed. You've got 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Folks, I hate to say goodbye, but I gotta go. I got business to take care of today. If you want to visit my website, that's it. BigAlMorgan.wixsite.com/Alex Morgan Show. Follow me on Twitter at RealBigAlMorgan or at Alex Morgan Show. Just go to the website, leave me some information, do something. Thank you for watching. See y'all later.